Howdy do, this is Joe Auger. It's April 21st on 2018. Hello, kitties. Yes, it is Record Store Day, 2018 April. Last year, I did something very similar on the day of what my haul was, etc., and it got about almost 2,500 views, which was nuts because it's like I didn't promote it; it just sort of happened. I guess it's just the kind of day. The day it was, people are looking around for stuff, etc., doing my haul unboxing and checking stuff out. So I got a lot of stuff this day because there was a huge list of stuff that I wanted, and I think I got pretty much everything I wanted, amazingly enough. So let's just dive right into it, shall we? Aren't we? Are we? Will we? I have my cats kind of around as well, so they're going to probably make their presence known in some ways, either by jumping up or meowing or whatever it is. Anyway, so probably one of the bigger gets I think that people were looking for, which I got, is the Pink Floyd Piper at the Gates of Dawn in mono with this lovely little sort of enveloped sleeve, etc., all done in gold leaf and all that. It looks very pretty. I'm going to try to give you a snapshot of what's inside of it. I know that these have already been done online, so I'm sure that this is probably somewhat redundant. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway because it's fun. Though I can't seem to get the damn thing off, so let's see. Without ripping it. I just have to do this sort of delicately because I don't want to rip it. I want to keep the cellophane on it with the sticker and the thing. And try and keep it as sort of nice looking as possible, if possible. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, that's sweet. That's a lovely Psycho Jello kind of sleeve thing there. Let's see, it's like a little pocket. It's a little envelope-y thing in there. So, it just kind of comes unstuck, and then it does this kind of thing. Yeah, so it's basically just an envelope. Really, the black card part of it. Then there is the album itself in mono, though. Again, they did the back cover here. You can see that they kind of did. This is all just printed. This isn't actually, but this is how it would have looked in England back in 1967 with the little flap glued. But this is just printed to make it look like it was glued. And a nice sort of lovely inner sleeve with the old style Columbia label. That's black, just black vinyl. No funny colors on this one. No, that's fine. And then anybody who hasn't listened to Piper and the Gates of Dawn in mono, it's a very different listening experience than the stereo, as were many of the mono stereos of that time, which is the reason why you need to get them. So the fact that this is on vinyl again is really cool. And then this cool little poster of the Floyd in their younger days sit at the forefront doing that pose that apparently was Sid's concoction. I gotta wonder if this was supposed to be the back cover instead of just the outline, which I kind of probably would have preferred, truthfully. The outline was always just kind of a little weird anyway. But there you go. Very cool. Okay, so there's that. So that's a good get. I'm happy about that get. So another get is this Frank Zappa. It's technically Lumpy Gravy, but it's slightly different. It was the original way he wanted it before Capitol Records, or at the time, whatever record company. Oh, that was the cat bumping that. Decided to mess around. They wanted stuff on it. They wanted it changed and re-edited and blah blah blah. This is how it was supposed to be and meant to be. This is also in mono. So, making some of these things available is a lovely thing that the Zappa Trust, such as it is, I have things to say about the Zappa Trust, but I won't get into that today. That said, there are some things that they're doing that are correct as far as Zappa's or Frank's legacy goes. There are some things that I find are a little abhorrent. Again, I won't get into that part of it, but this is like a good. This one's good. Lovely gatefold, old school, like that. And again, this is on Zappa Records, so it's got Frank there on the cover, on the stickers, and then this one is a sort of a dark. Look, actually, a little lighter in the camera, but it's a lovely sort of slightly splattered, colored, pretty much like the cover, the front cover, really. Yeah, so there's that one. Another good get, Frank. So another one, okay. And I don't think I remember seeing this one on the list, but I saw it there, and there was one more left. I grabbed it. So what the heck? UK's first album, remastered with a nifty booklet and stuff. And I opened this one up because what I did see today in Record Store Day, my whole plan was that in my new place, my new house, I have some shelving that I've yet to put up almost a year later for my vinyl and my music from my music room. I'm a master procrastinator. I'm an absolute genius at it. Among other things that I'm not so genius at. I thought today would be a perfect day, it being vinyl day. After I do this, I'm gonna go build the damn shelves in that room. So what I also did, because I didn't have anything, as I had gotten rid of my old equipment, is I said, I don't have a turntable or a receiver, do I? That's gonna be kind of difficult. So yeah, so I went to my favorite local stereo place called Stereo Discount Center, and that's in East Providence. My friend Stuart Powers has been setting me up with equipment for about 30 years now, in the various incarnations of Stereo Discount Center. And he hooked me up big time with a great turntable, a nice receiver, and some really nice sort of quasi bookshelf, a little bigger than bookshelf speakers. So I'm gonna have some fun tonight and tomorrow setting that up and being able to. So this is the first thing that I actually listened to on that system. So you can see again, it's just general, just black vinyl on that, but again, a nice booklet that goes along with it, because you gotta have a nice vinyl booklet, right? Okay, so there's that one. That was an unexpected get. So a couple of these that I definitely wanted, and I got them that were on the RSD list. There's a couple of Tim Buckley titles. This one is I Can't See You, which is basically some unreleased demos of some things, and I believe this would have been before his first album. I think I'd have to do a little more research on it, but so it's just 4 songs. It's basically just an EP. Same thing, just black vinyl. It's very simple. I really hope that the Tim Buckley archives or the estate continues this and starts re-releasing the records and remastering. Hopefully, remixing even would be great if they have the tapes to do so. Just haven't seen enough stuff of Tim, but so this is a good sign. So love the picture on the back is clearly of him when he's on the set of the Monkees doing "Song to the Siren." Interesting sort of angle from master photographer Henry Diltz, of course. So yeah, that's a good one. Add to the Buckley oeuvre. All right, so on the Tim Buckley sort of thing there's another one. Now this one I have this was released on CD number of years ago, so this one we have, technically speaking. It's a great live show though. But this is also, I believe, a double fold. A gatefold. It's clear vinyl apparently. Let's see what the gatefold looks like. So yeah, just pictures of Tim because he was cute and all that. Good looking guy, of course. And of course there's got to be, it's kind of just a two-sided little piece of paper there, but it's some nice liner note things. And again, these are on clear vinyl. So let's look at that. Gotta love that. That's beautiful, beautiful looking. Gotta love a beautiful piece of vinyl like that. Lovely, clear. They're really making some beautiful artifacts these days. As so I'm, my bank account is suffering. But what are you going to do? Hey, you only live once, apparently. At least that's what they're telling us. But I don't know if I believe that. Anyway, so keeping in the Buckley sort of frame of mind here, big release of this. It's a box set of Jeff Buckley Live at Sene, which basically is the deluxe version of the CD that was released a number of years after the original EP, which only had 4 songs from this. Now it's been, basically it's four albums. Yes, it is. I know what. Because I told you he would be speaking. Hey, good night. I have 2 cats. They're like children. So I wanted to get this. I normally might have shied away from this, but I'll be honest. Since 1997, when Jeff Buckley died, I have had a hard time listening to his music. It just makes me sad instead of making me joyful because he was so effing good. Literally. So we're talking, 20 years, now that he passed away, something like that, 21 years. I need to kind of get over it because his music is just too good, and there's too many good releases that I haven't even heard that they've been doing since then that I've shied away from because I'm afraid of this ad. Truthfully, it was just such a waste of talent that what happened to him, and I'm just still angry and bitter over it at the time, because at the time I was like, he was to me like he was just saving music for me in the 90s because everything else from the 90s was fucking awful as far as I'm concerned. But that's another story. Because, But anyway, lovely box. Really nice and sturdy. Lovely old booklet, of course. Gotta have a booklet. So again, we're talking... Oh, and there is a download code on this one I'm happy about, so I'm not going to show you that number so you can't steal it. So you have each cover has, or each album has its own cover with some pictures from him in the club, him looking moody and sullen because that was how he was. Now these I think are just black vinyl, I believe, right? Yeah, those are just black. So this is a pretty significant release, and it makes me need to go and relook at his work and reacquainted, I should say. Oops, with him, just because I have to. It's silly that I just kind of disallowed myself to listen to him because it's just too sad. But that's what happened. I was lucky enough to see him on 3 occasions live, and I actually got to meet him as well. So I count myself lucky in that regard, but that's another reason why it was so sad. So anyway, but hey, Jeff lives on in his music and all that other stuff. All right, back to Record Store Day. A couple other things. So Fleet Foxes 7-inch. I'm not usually a big 7-inch guy, but I've got all the other Fleet Foxes on vinyl. So I thought, well, let's just add to that collection because they're an awesome group. And then, of course, the perennial. They just released a big Steven Wilson remix, 5.1, etc., etc. With DVDs and CDs and stuff like that for the Heavy Horses record. And these are all songs and cast-offs and things from that record. So it's it's got a few things in. Of course, the picture of the boys in the heyday of 1977. And think about the fact that this was an album that was released in 77, the heyday of the Sex Pistols and all that kind of stuff. So I look at it this way: who's ballsier, the Sex Pistols doing what everybody else was doing, or Jethro Tull doing what he was doing despite it all? I'll leave that question to you. So that's the Record Store Day haul. Those are the specific releases. Of course, I've got a few other bits and pieces now. I go to a local record store called In Your Ear Records. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you what I got because I spent so much money there. So In Your Ear Records. You can see the address there and stuff. In Warren, Rhode Island. Now, In Your Ear Records, of course, is also another place that has had a number. It's been in a number of different locations in Providence. So I worked at one like a million years ago, ever so briefly. But in the long run, all of that is Chris Zing. He is the proprietor of the place and always hooks me up with stuff and always has new stuff and gets estate stuff and just there's always every time you go in there there's new stuff every single time. So that's the kind of record store I like, that he turns stuff over, so that way you go on just seeing the same stuff over and over again. And so so shout out to In Your Ear. So a few things that I got here's the thing. I've got so many CDs. Some of these things I may already have. I'm just not sure because I haven't looked at them in a while. Robin Hitchcock, I just saw him last week and he was freaking fantabulous and fantastic at the Narrows in Fall River. And I'm realizing there was a few things that I was missing from my collection. So along that same line, Fegmania from the Robin and the Hitchcock and the Egyptians. This was a cheap, the High Llamas, Gideon Gay, which I don't believe I've got. I've got a couple of other of their albums, and then of course just because, yes, Tormato expanded, etc. I haven't seen that they're going to do any kind of 5.1 of this one, mainly because it seems like, I don't know if it's that era is just missing stuff, because like Going for the One, Steven Wilson couldn't find them and he's done all the remixes up to that point. So I figured, just get that and and sort of have done with it. But anyway, so another favorite of mine, and a lot of folks know that this person is a favorite of mine. And even though I have a signed pre-release copy coming to me in the mail, probably by Monday or something like that, I just had to have another copy of it. So this is Kimbra's new record called Primal Heart, and of course I've been listening to the download since yesterday, and it's freaking fantastic. She just is a stellar artist, a singer, producer, writer. Her melodies, she ticks every check box in my head when it comes to music or progressive pop. She's even kind of called it that, and I think that's probably a good way of describing her. Just really wonderful pop stuff, but with a real kind of grit to it. Especially this record is a little more stripped back than her last record. You really hear her voice, sort of affected and stuff like that. You really kind of hear the power of her voice. So there was that. But so here's the lovely surprise for the day, because keeping along the Kimbra line of things. She had originally slated the release of this record back in January, actually, I believe it was. But then she pushed it forward to April 20th, 420, which obviously is the day before Record Store Day, which I'm wondering if that was if she meant to do that. So it sort of worked out, because I had also done a pre-order of the vinyl for the record, and so I went to Record Store Day. Sure, I'll edit that out, or not. That is what it is. I went to Record Store Day, and I went to Stereo Discount Center and got my stereo equipment, and I come home, and this wasn't supposed to get here till next week. I don't know if you can see Warner Music, blah blah blah. So the only thing coming from Warner Music is one thing: on Record Store Day. That's awesome. I love when shit like that happens. But there's the vinyl of Primal Heart. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, right? Right? Just a single album this time. The Golden Echoes was there was enough stuff on there to be like a double album set. But all right, so I'm gonna crack it open here. See what we got. Of course, there's a lovely, simple black and white lyric and credit sheet. And let's see what we got here. It's just black and white, black vinyl, But interesting stickers there. But again, I've listened. Actually, I'm curious as to whether there's maybe something extra on this vinyl. The Golden Echo vinyl actually had an extra song that wasn't ever available either as download or or on the CD, called Vanity Fair. So that was a lovely surprise there. So I'm curious as to whether or not there's maybe something on here. So once I set things up in my new room, I'm going to listen to some stuff. So that's my haul for the day. Thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. If you feel like tuning in, I will leave the comments open for you to be either rude to me or not, or be nice to me. I would rather you be nice to me, because if you're rude to me, this is what will happen. I'll be rude to you back, but then I'll block your ass. How's that? So I've had to do it a few times, but there you go. Anyway, so thanks for listening. I guess the next record store day is probably November, right before Christmas. So hopefully maybe there'll be some stuff then. One of these days. See, now that I've got a different place that I'm living, I have more potentialities of having a camera set up or having things kind of ready to go at a moment's notice more often. So I'd like to do more of these things. I'd like to get out of my own fucking way and do more of this stuff. Stop sitting on my ass and trying to get, I'm just trying to get my shit together here. Like right now I'm still in kind of winter mode. This is like the first few days that it's felt like almost spring-like here in New England. So probably the next time you see me, I will have been sure all this stuff will be gone, Anyway, so what we'll do, since you're right here, he's at my feet, I will say goodbye with my little boy who's being struggly. He's being struggly. He's being struggly. Since when are you struggling? You usually like to cuddle. See, I told you. See, he likes to cuddle. So, this is Lefty, by the way. He's a cuddle bug. That's why I picked him up. Yes, Yes, you like to cuddle. Are you gonna help me set up the shelving and be generally bothersome and in the way and stuff? Yes. All right, guys, I'm gonna go do this because I've been wasting enough time. Take it easy, all. Have a great day and happy Record Store Day.